Whether you're hosting, having a watch party, or doing your own thing at home, having a great dip will improve the occasion. And I have 3 that are guaranteed to impress, with the third being my personal favorite. First one up, let's get to work on our buffalo chicken dip. We're gonna head on over to our oven, setting it to 350 degrees convection bake, and we're gonna grab 1 pound of chicken, which is 2 breasts, and to prep them, I'm just gonna split them in half carefully down the middle, giving us 2 cutlets. I'll next lay them down on a sheet tray and hit them with a generous amount of salt before throwing them in our oven, which hasn't even preheated yet, but it's okay, it's not that big of a deal. 15 minutes later, our chicken is fully cooked, registering at 160 degrees or higher. Once it's cooled, we're gonna shred it by hand, and then we're gonna chop it into nice little bite-sized shredded pieces. Now in a large bowl, we're gonna throw in 1 packet of cream cheese, and yes, I did almost miss that bowl, not my proudest moment. Next, we're gonna toss in half a cup of sour cream, as well as all of our cooked chicken. Now we're gonna mix all these ingredients together, and you could just use a spatula. For some reason, I want to use my hand mixture here. Next, we're gonna throw in half a cup of the hot sauce of your liking. I'm using Frank's here. And we're gonna toss in 2 minced chipotle peppers in adobo, 1 minced shallot, 2 cloves of crushed or minced garlic, half a teaspoon of salt, a few cranks of black pepper, and about 80% of our cheese blend, which consists of shredded medium sharp cheddar and pepper jack cheese. I got about half a cup of both of them, and I mixed them together. Now I'm gonna give this one final mixing, pour it in a 10-inch cast iron pan, throw the remainder of our cheese on top of it, and then throw that in our 350 degree oven for 15 minutes. You can also use a 9x9 baking dish or a 9x13 baking dish if you want to double this recipe as well. After the 15 minutes, you should now have an insane buffalo dip that's sure to impress any family and friends that you want to give this to. For our second recipe, we're making a wacky but delicious pizza dip that has a secret ingredient that you're going to love. First thing we're going to need is 1 28-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes. I'm going to pour that in our blender along with 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now grab your immersion blender and give it a blending until you realize you forgot to add 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Now give it a proper blending with all the ingredients, and now we're going to pour this in a pan so we can reduce it and concentrate the flavors. You want to reduce it to the point when if you run your spatula through it, the sauce won't close that gap quickly. It kind of holds its place there. Now this is a much thicker, much more flavorful pizza sauce in my opinion. We're gonna now grate our cheese. I got half a cup of part skim mozzarella as well as half a cup of full fat mozzarella, which full fat mozzarella is the cheese behind the deli counter. Once the cheeses are mixed together, we'll now grab our pepperoni, slicing some nice little circular pieces, and I'm also gonna dice 1/3 of it, and you'll be seeing what we're using it for very soon. Now in a bowl, we're gonna toss in 1 packet of cream cheese, much more gracefully, might I add, as well as half a cup of sour cream. And now it's time for our secret ingredient, which is half to 1 full packet of ranch seasoning. This stuff will take the flavors to a whole other level. Now I'm gonna pour that mixture in our cast iron pan, as well as a few heaping tablespoons of our tomato sauce, and then our cubed pepperoni, as well as all of our cheese mixture and additional pepperoni slices on top. Now we're gonna throw it in our 350 degree oven for 15 minutes, and then you'll have a beautiful pizza dip that smells and tastes insane. And now it's time for our third dip, which is my favorite dip of the 3, a caramelized onion and roasted garlic dip. First thing we're gonna do is grab our head of garlic, cut the tip off, hit it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and black pepper before wrapping it in aluminum foil and throwing it in our oven that's set to 350 degrees convection bake for 45 minutes. I'll next grab 3 sweet onions, and I'm gonna cut them from root to stem, giving you nice little long strands. I'm gonna toss those onions in our pot, setting it to medium-high heat. I'll hit it with a sprinkling of salt and then pour in 1/3 of a cup of water before putting the lid on it. 2 minutes later, I'll remove the lid and give the onions a quick stirring, and this is what they look like. Now I'm gonna continue cooking these guys for 45 minutes to an hour. You might have to add a little bit of oil, but they should look something like this. Pour in 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar to deglaze, especially the sides, and then we're gonna throw that in a pot. Toss in 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1.5 teaspoons of Better Than Bouillon beef base, all of our roasted garlic, and half a cup of sour cream. Give it a good mixing, and then throw in 1 packet of cream cheese cheese, followed by 2 tablespoons of chives, giving it another mixing before throwing in about 80% of our cheese mixture, which consists of half a cup of shredded fontina cheese and half a cup of shredded Gruyere cheese. I'll pour that mixture in our cast iron pan, sprinkle our remaining cheese on top, and then throw it in our 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. And now you have an insane caramelized onion roasted garlic dip. Even though this one takes the longest, it's hands down the best one because it has the most flavor in my opinion. If you like this video, check out my 3 sauces that can be made in 5 minutes. They're perfect for wings. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe.